So there are three ways how basically these companies handle the water supply and water management. The first one is our favorite one. It's the hydroponic one. That basically means that the bottom part of the plant is in water. So the root and everything up to the green part that you see usually sticking out of the ground is submerged into water. And what they do is they have little pumps that circulate the water basically from...
In a spiral?
Spiral is one of the options if you have like a tube-based vertical farm, but a lot of them have like shelves. So they use a pump that takes the water up to the top one, and then it goes down basically through rows of plants, or they have it for each shelf each, that the plants are basically in like a really small pool of water, and it sits there for a while so that the plants can absorb it, and then with pumps they pump it back out into a tank that's on the somewhere outside. It's
kind of reminding me a little bit of like I think they're rice fields that you'd see in traditional Asian farming that are like cut into the mountain like shelves.
Yeah.
And you've got the water flowing down through each of them. It sounds like a miniaturized version of that.
That actually sounds exactly like that, and especially because the roots of the vegetables connect to each other. Since they don't have a lot of earth, they basically underneath those mini cups, they connect roots together. And the last time we were having this walk and talk, we were talking about how plants communicate with each other underground. They basically do it with their root systems. They basically connect like hands like this, and they talk to each other, which is great because they create little ecosystems for themselves, but also help each other gather more nutrients from the water. So it's like a net that stops the nutrients from flowing through the water. It stays in the roots, and then they absorb it up into the plant, which is an amazing system.
Yeah, that sounds beneficial, because of one of the things you were talking about when we were having that walk and talk was that in nature, trees in particular was your example anyway, they can become quote unquote aware of another tree that is in need of nutrients, and they can actually donate nutrients from themselves through the root system to this other tree. Is there any evidence? Does that come into play in these?
Unfortunately, no. Maybe on a really small, really fast scale where they will catch more nutrients together, but basically they have enough nutrients, so they are in basically optimum conditions. So they kind of don't have the need for it. But there was
if that does arise, then that's a failing in the growers.
Yeah, basically. The thing that you mentioned was from a TED talk, and it was amazing. The guy was talking about how plants basically increase their pH level or decrease it based on what type of nutrients they're getting, or if there's like toxic rain falling in one part of the forest, the other part of the forest knows, and they're kind of like friends standing next to each other. We think of them as just like trees doing nothing, but they're like really communicating to each other. They have their internet of their own, in a way. But going back to the vertical farms, so the hydroponic system basically supplies plants with water that's filled with nutrients, and then when the nutrients are depleted, they cycle the water out into tanks on the side. They fill the water up with new nutrients, and then they cycle the water back up. So basically, this whole system is also super efficient because it uses not just less ground, not just less space, not just infinitely stackable on top of each other, but also 99% less water is used in vertical farming. So basically this hydroponic system, you basically have 99% of your water all the time in there, and you don't need new one. You just fill it up with bacteria again and nutrients for the plants, and just recycle it again to the whole system of plants. So that's the first version of supplying nutrients. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.